Hey everybody, and welcome back to another wonderful video with Cassie. Oh my goodness, hello everybody. I am so excited to be back on this channel. So much has happened since the last time I posted. Let's say maybe about a year ago, maybe 6 months ago. It's been a lot. So I got a new job. I'm teaching as a music teacher again. I got married. That was a whole thing. That was over a year in planning, and it was solely Patrick and I planning. My husband, I could say, mi marito. There we go. But yes, my esposo. I can actually say that now because I think for the longest time on the channel I was saying fiance. So yeah, we got married, and that's a whole nother story in itself. What else has happened? I formally received my autism diagnosis, which I knew for a very long time that that was what's gonna happen, and that's a whole nother story in itself. But yeah, I'm so excited just to be back. It's currently summer vacation, and I need something to do, or I go completely insane with not having a routine of the structure of waking up really early in the morning and going to work for 8 hours and then coming home. So I was like, let me make some Sims videos. Oh, and that's another big update, is that I'm performing in Italy. When by the time this goes live, I'm gonna be in Italy. So I'm pre-recording a lot of these videos. But yeah, international performer. I did not put that on my 2024 bingo, and I'm so incredibly grateful for that opportunity. I'm also petrified for the opportunity because this is my first time like traveling internationally. So that's a whole nother story in itself. So I've had a lot going on in the background, but I recently stumbled across on a Sims 4 Reddit page, and I can go ahead and maybe put the screenshot in here, from Inconstant Wisp, and this was posted about 3 months ago, and I believe they also have a Instagram at wisp / Sims or _ Sims, and they decided to make a whole friendship in magic legacy challenge, and I thought that was really, really cool, and it just, I don't know, just something went beep. And between that and like seeing James Turner's like 2-hour movie Sims marathon videos he's been doing, and Deligracy made the Tiny Town challenge, and just, I don't know, just it kind of re-sparked something in me. This is again one of my favorite things. I love Sims. It's one of my special interests, and My Little Pony is the #1 comfort show for me. It is also one of my huge special interests. It's been there for me, especially like not good mental health days or not feeling good days, and just, oh, it's such a cute show but has such deep lore. So don't be surprised like if I start talking about it later in this episode, like about the wiki. I probably will, and just kind of dive into them too. But I wanted to talk about kind of what my game plan is using her legacy challenge / also kind of putting my own twist and spin and using the most latest, the most original My Little Pony Friendship is Magic actual television series, and kind of influencing kind of this show and this and kind of the series of The Sims on this channel. I believe Deligracy did do a My Little Pony build and characters, unless I could be mistaken. I may be mistaken, but that's kind of the same flow that I want to go. Is I'm going to be using Wisp's challenge to kind of set us up for success, and then have goals, but then also kind of like pick a random episode from the television series and maybe explore that as like a theme for that day's episode. So I wanted to start it off because technically the way that she sets it up is that it's a legacy challenge. So it's supposed to be like Generation 1 is Princess Celestia, Generation 2 is Luna. I'm not doing any of that. Again, we're using it as a jumping off point and using it as different stuff. So for Celestia, it says, a Sim with a heart of gold, you're thriving as a passionate politician, hoping your input is making the world a better place, bringing your love of helping others to the forefront. But deep down, you also have dreams of starting a loving family of your own and filling your home with love, laughter, and the meaningful memories to continue on your legacy. And you can see all the different things we're going to be doing. Like, we're going to be working on the politician career, which I've never actually personally finished. We're supposed to donate money. We're supposed to have like a mentor trait. So this is going to be really interesting because this is, again, this screams Princess Celestia. Meanwhile, her little sister, Princess Luna, they're supposed to be like extreme opposites. And we're going to get into like the lore in a second. So it says, Being raised in a household where your parents have referred to you as a saint by everyone who crossed their path, you begin to feel hate in your heart. You set out to destroy the hard work your parents had built. You meet somebody you thought was the one, but things were not as they seemed. They left you with nothing except a child that's on the way. Maybe it's time to make sure that your child isn't brought up in the world you're creating, and time to make a change in your life. Again, so kind of with the concept of we're using this as a jumping off point, and I like the ones here, like repairing friendships with all the enemies you made, especially when she becomes like reverted back to Princess Luna from Nightmare Moon. So I like it. I think this is really cool. Shout out to them. Please go follow her like on Instagram and like that Reddit page and stuff like that. This is definitely not my idea, so all credit goes to her. Absolutely love it. So diving into the lore about Princess Celestia and Princess Luna. They mention parents, and there is a wonderful YouTube video that, yes, I have forced my husband to watch before. It's like over an hour long, and it's the complete in totality history of Equestria. And it goes and it puts even the movies in chronological order and everything like that. And it's honestly pretty good, and that's where I get a lot of kind of my source of information from sometimes, is that reference, because he put together all these different things. But yeah, I think it kind of goes back and forth. Princess Celestia and Princess Luna do have parents that are king and queen in a different country. That they never state what the name of that country is. And long story short, Celestia had a mentor that was basically like, you need to come over here. I need your help. And put in perspective of the history of Equestria, these sisters are thousands of years old. They're supposed to be technically like these immortal goddess beings, and they are both co-rulers of Equestria. So that's kind of brings us a little bit up to speed of where the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, like season 1, truly technically starts. But yeah, so they're supposed to be co-rulers of Equestria, and her specific responsibility is that she raises the sun. Princess Luna's responsibility is she's supposed to raise the moon. However, on top of all this, kind of where you kind of learn over time that she gets very bitter, that the subjects start to favor Celestia over Luna. Luna is associated with a lot more negative things and darkness and terror, and it's not the same vibe, right? Like, you get to rule daytime and you get to see your subjects all day, and then when Luna comes out, no one's there to greet her, right? Everyone's asleep, no one cares about her, so she starts to kind of develop this very much like bitterness in her heart. And yeah, and that kind of leads into especially like the first season and her being reformed and everything like that. But on top of all that, Princess Celestia specifically has a school for younger unicorns. It's a magic school, and if you want to put in perspective and get into like a whole class race thing, that's a whole nother thing that they do talk about a lot in the show, is that unicorns and Pegasi and like regular earth ponies, they've all hated each other up until just recently. And even then, I was talking about Patrick about this, there is so much evidence throughout the show that the systems that they had in place about this kind of like segregation still very much exist. There was an episode where Rarity goes to Canterlot to work on Twilight's birthday dress, and like the 1%, literally the 1% of Equestria, like 99% of them are unicorns. So that just kind of says something about kind of their way of living, but that's just my tea. But yeah, so the whole point is like she has this extremely hard to get into school, like probably wouldn't really get in there unless you're in the 1% or you're extremely talented or had a scholarship. But she personally takes on Twilight Sparkle because of like this prophecy, and later she becomes a princess and an alicorn herself. But yes, so that's what Celestia does. She's literally goodness wrapped up, and Luna's supposed to be the exact opposite, very much yin and yang. Kind of going on to Luna though, because I feel like I've been talking about Princess Celestia for a very, very long time. And I will also say that they're not the only rulers in this realm at this time. There is horses, like essentially from, I don't know how they call it, but like essentially it's like supposed to be like Saudi Arabia. And then they also have Princess Cadence, who rules the country just north of Equestria. But yeah, so now getting into Princess Luna. So she is technically younger, and yes, I made her a teenager specifically because of this scene.
Who had the magic inside to defeat her. but you could not unleash it until you let true friendship into your heart. Now if only another will as well. Princess Luna. It has been 1,000 years since I have seen you like this. Time to put our differences behind us. We were meant to rule together, little sister.
Sister?
And when she reforms back from Nightmare Moon, which that's a whole nother thing we gotta talk about, back to Princess Luna, she ends up being shown as a very tiny mare and not the full true alicorn size. Alicorns, because they're so regal, they're like almost horse size compared to the normal ponies, and they're like 4 times the size, and their hair magically moves, and you can tell they're royalty. But when she's reformed, she literally is like reborn again, and she becomes this very tiny foal. Also, it's really hard in The Sims to kind of indicate age. If I really were to put her as a young adult, it would have made them kind of almost like twins. So I was like, eh. So I think it makes more sense of her being more alternative and kind of that rocker lifestyle a little bit. I try to throw it in here. Grunge wasn't quite the move. I was thinking more kind of rocker style, but kind of getting her angst out, little teenage angst. And then as she gets older, that's when she can start learning friendship and repairing her relationships with everybody. But over time, she basically becomes like dark magic, and that's how she becomes Nightmare Moon. And it was getting so bad. It was getting so bad that literally her own sister banished her and locked her into the moon for 1,000 years. And then when the stars aligned, that's when she was able to escape, and that leads back to season 1 and Twilight trying to warn everybody like, hey, this is happening. So it's a whole shebang. It's a whole freaking thing. But yeah, just I love talking about My Little Pony and the lore, and I can go very deep into different things, but I think this is funny. And then later on throughout the series, like in later seasons, they do show like, oh, okay, like she returns back her original royal duties of raising the moon, but there is still very much like, again, the original problem, subjects not really liking her, her own sister not even liking her. So that very much is like discovered about how to repair the relationship, and that at the end of the day, yes, they're royalty, but they're still sisters. So really love this. But moving forward, kind of over the next month or so for July, I'm going to be doing a speed build of their castle, question mark. I don't know if I want to do really lean into like the fantasy thing, or just kind of have a house that uses their personalities to make sense. I'm not really quite sure. But then afterwards, maybe doing 1 or 2 episodes on them and then doing the next person, which is probably Princess Cadence, and then I'm going to do Twilight. So yeah, if you're really excited and that's something you really like, please follow, like, share. If this is not your alley, I'm so sorry. Like, why are you here? This is my special thing. I'm probably doing this for like the next couple months. But anyways, thank you everyone for watching another wonderful video with me. I hope everyone has an awesome Sim Saturday, and I will see y'all next time.